Good morning, everybody. This is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. It's May the 21st and we're looking at 2 Chronicles chapter 1. So 2 Chronicles is all about Solomon and the people that came after him, whereas 1 Chronicles is always about the children of Israel that lead up to David the king. So in chapter 1 we have the beginning of Solomon's reign. Solomon, the son of David, was strengthened in his kingdom, and the Lord his God was with him and magnified him exceedingly. Now in verse 6 it says, Solomon went up thither to the brazen altar before the Lord, which was at the tabernacle of the congregation, and offered 1,000 burnt offerings upon it. 1,000. And notice they were burnt offerings. These weren't offerings for sin. These were offerings that were absolutely, entirely a free will offering, all for the Lord. It was all burnt up, and the Lord would smell the offering as a sweet savour. And in that night the Lord appeared to Solomon and said to him, Ask what I shall give thee. That's my password for today. Ask what I shall give thee. In other words, the Lord is putting to Solomon an invitation. Ask me what I will give you. And of course Solomon said, Thou hast shown great mercy unto David my father, and thou hast made me to reign in his stead. Now, O Jehovah God, let thy promise unto David my father be established, for thou hast made me king over a people like the dust of the earth in multitude. Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people, for who can judge this thy people that is so great? You see, Solomon recognized that he was just a small person. Yes, he'd been made king, but he was just David's son. And it was a vast people that he was ruling, and he needed wisdom and knowledge. Now, what's the difference between wisdom and knowledge? Well, wisdom is common sense. It is the correct application of knowledge to given circumstances. And knowledge is the accumulation of facts and understandings and skills of thinking. But the main thing he asked for was for wisdom and knowledge. And the Lord responds, he says, Because it was in thine heart that thou hast not asked for riches or wealth or honour, nor even for the life of your enemies, nor have you asked for a long life, but you have asked for wisdom and knowledge for thyself, that thou mayest judge my people, over whom I have made thee king. So wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee, and I will give thee riches and wealth and honour, such as none of the kings that have been before thee, neither shall be there any after thee like this. And Solomon made his journey to the high place that was at Gibeon in Jerusalem, from before the tabernacle of the Lord. Now Solomon gathered chariots and horsemen, 1,400 chariots, 1,400 tanks as we would see them today, and 12,000 horsemen. So these were the cavalry, 12,000 cavalry. And the king made silver and gold in Jerusalem as plenteous as stones. The wealth was phenomenal. And the next chapter, Solomon determined to build a house for the name of the Lord. And so he needed timber, and he needed workmen of great skill. So Solomon sent to Hiram the king of Tyre, saying, As thou didst deal with David my father, and did send him cedars to build a house to dwell therein, even so deal with me. Behold, I build a house to the name of the Lord my God, to dedicate it to him, and to burn before him sweet incense, and for the continual showbread, and for the burnt offerings morning and evening, and on the Sabbaths, and on the new moons, and on the solemn feasts of the Lord our God. This is an ordinance for ever to Israel. And the house which I build is great, for great is our God above all gods, and who is able to build him a house, seeing that heaven and heaven of heavens cannot contain him. Who am I then, that I should build a house, save only to burnt sacrifices before him? Send me therefore a man cunning to work in gold and silver, in brass and iron, in purple, in crimson, in blue, and that may skill to grave with the cunning men that are with me in Judah and Jerusalem, whom David my father did provide. Send me also cedars and firs and algums out of Lebanon, for I know that thy servants can skill to cut timber in Lebanon. And behold, my servants shall be with thy servants, even to prepare me timber in abundance. And so on and so on. And Hiram sends a letter in return. Now I want you to read this letter. It is fantastic, because Hiram writes, he says, because the Lord hath loved his people, he hath made thee king over them. And Hiram said, moreover, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, that made heaven and earth, who hath given to David the king a wise son, endued with prudence and understanding, that he might build a house for the Lord, and a house for his kingdom. So Hiram was a good man. He recognized the God of heaven, and he recognized Solomon as king. And so Solomon also took a great number of people, not as slaves but as workmen. There were 70,000 men that carried burdens from the seaport up to Jerusalem, and there were 3,600 foremen to put the people to work. And Solomon began to build the house of the Lord in Jerusalem. And so we have a description of the house of the Lord in great detail. And what a glorious thing it was that was going to be built. Well, there's my thought for the day. Look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.